Take this, some of the GOP and on the right-wing propaganda network embracing the Taliban's takeover in Afghanistan as a moment to espouse xenophobic views or take a trip into the political grievance gutter, like Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, who tweeted, "The Taliban are the only people building back better." What a twisted and failed joke based on President Biden's campaign slogan. There's nothing better about the repressive and historically deadly rule of the Taliban. You just heard from a translator whose family is trying to escape the country. They fear for their lives. Nothing to joke about. On the Fox Propaganda Network, there is already a push to question who should be let into the U.S. Listen to this.
Is it really our responsibility to welcome thousands of potentially unvetted refugees from Afghanistan? All day we've heard phrases like, "we promised them." Well, who did? Did you?
Lord. The anti-refugee sentiment almost as strong as the anti-fax sentiment on that network. Tucker Carlson seemingly offering the most outlandish reasons for how the Taliban gained control.
Since Kabul has just fallen, it might be worth asking the most obvious question of all. Why did the Taliban win? How did that happen? What's the answer? We ought to pause to think about that. Let's not just blow past it like it was an act of God. It's not. What is the answer? Well, countries are very complicated, all of them, so there are likely many answers. But one of those answers may be that the population of Afghanistan has firmly rejected what our leaders were selling it over 20 years. It turns out that the people of Afghanistan don't actually want gender studies symposia. They didn't actually buy the idea that men can become pregnant. They thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Forget the facts. Forget nuance. Forget the decades-long geopolitical struggle. It's the gender studies. Well, I have a question. Is it the gender studies? Meanwhile, experts fear that the Taliban will reverse decades of progress for all people in Afghanistan.
The sitcom has provided so much joy in times of uncertainty.
The more dire the circumstances, the more you need sitcoms.
Once you're laughing, you forget everything.
History of the Sitcom, Sunday at 9 on CNN.
There have been folks on the left and right who wanted to see America leave Afghanistan after 20 years. They asked, what's the worst that could happen? We now know the answer. The Taliban back in control.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot. Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as here guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season. We're underway on EA Sports.
He inherited America's left.
Able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Begin to believe the Republican effort to whitewash history and score partisan points over the fall of Afghanistan. You know, like the RNC's attempt to literally erase praise for Donald Trump's Afghan withdrawal plan from its website in the wake of this disaster. Because, in case you forgot, Trump drew down U.S. troops from around 14,000 to some 2,500, while initiating U.S. talks with the Taliban in Doha without
carry for the U.S.
So while former Trump Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was busy dumping on President Biden, he was present. Everyone would forget his own negotiations with the Taliban and his commitment to have, quote, zero U.S. forces in Afghanistan by spring 2020.
Is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same.
Trump was crowing about its withdrawal deal,
What they saw last week
in May, saying we had very good conversations
with
the Taliban today. We're looking forward to getting this ended. We're looking forward to getting it ended. And I think the relations
is very good. It up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
which is why the Trump administration pressuring the Afghan government to release 5,000 Taliban prisoners, including some who've been linked to killing of U.S. troops, contributed to this.
Going right side here, and that's
One
complete.
issue united
And
almost
he's able
all
to get
members
this
of
one out
Congress
closer to
was the
midfield
moral
across the
obligation to protect
45.
Afghan interpreters
He was
who
out
risked
there
their
waving
lives
his
for
arms, and when you got a
That's
quarterback
why
out of
there
the
was a
pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his
accelerate
attention.
their visas.
Because now you're in
Take a closer
scramble
look
drill.
at those
So
16
everyone's
notes.
adjusting their
All
routes,
right.
finding open space, and he
Target
found the
members
right
of Trump's
spot for the
sedition,
completion.
like Andy Biggs, Lone Rover, Mo Brooks, Paul Gosa,
Over the middle, taken in. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They weren't even willing
And
to
early
offer
on, they're picking
assistance
up
to the
right where they left
Afghan
off last
protesters.
week.
And I
And
know
Arizona's
a lot
Andy
of coaches
Biggs
say
pressed
each
the
game
Bible
is its
complete
own.
withdrawal
You
back
don't
in
really have
February.
carryover.
Biggs
This
insists
feels
that,
like
quote,
carryover.
Afghanis
So
need
much
to be
confidence from the
responsible for their
previous
own
game
destiny going
that they're
forward.
using to their advantage
Let's see
now.
you apply when Joe Biden backs it.
So now first and 10 as they crossed into Miami territory at the
reversal of the party's
46.
post 9/11 consensus. They dropped those principles for political gain, and they can't just pick them up again to use as a political weapon.
Here's Jones. And he's got this down to the
bragging about
35.
being an author of this
10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them, and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. Early in this one, advantage defense.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Business was good, but now it's even better, he tells us. More sales. Why do you think you're selling more burkas right now?
Mayfield, a catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 11 yards there, first down.
That's not her real name. And 52, 52. She's petrified that the Taliban will reach her.
Now Joe Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Mayfield on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pre-game. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really hits on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That catch good for only a couple.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield, he's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 29-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, He's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
This C-17 is believed to be one of several that departed the Kabul airport Monday with injuries on board. The airport says it is among the highest number of people ever flown on a C-17.
That's out to the left, flat and complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, they start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way you press the hole, absolutely perfect.
So now 1st and 10 as they crossed into Miami territory at the 34. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. He'll buy some time right. He'll run it. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1.
We're all grateful and we all know how hard and how dangerous that work is. I would ask you to tell them that there is a process that they can apply for through the State Department to get onto the list and get onto the manifest. And I would ask them to work with State Department authorities there in Kabul to do that. And if they are through that process, I can assure them, and you can assure them.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
70,000 of these individuals, we know we have an obligation to them.
To most Afghan people,
here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Promises. Can I have your word? These people are depending on you. They are depending on you.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
There's no quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Closer, there's nothing hollow about the obligation that we know we have to these Afghans who so bravely helped us over the last 20 years. Believe me, nobody in the United States government more than the
trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
In concert with our State Department colleagues. We are absolutely committed to that. and we're going to stay.
They'll try and run forward, Jones. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. But he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Open man finding Jefferson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
And the president holds really our cards. And we can extend that metaphor to the state of the Afghan military, which disappeared so dramatically last week. That was an American-trained, American-designed military. The U.S. chose...
One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. He is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Afghans found him very condescending and demeaning, and Biden went on to actually criticize the efforts of Afghan troops for essentially filming the broken enough, they didn't fight enough, and Afghan troops are doing what they're not for themselves. And at the end of the day, this means efforts to deflect from emergency activity.
55, my God, 55.
Here's Jones. And he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
First of all, I can't believe I made this. And second, it was so easy and so fast. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code VOD14 for up to 14 free meals.
And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal.
Tens of thousands of Afghans who helped U.S. diplomats and U.S. troops in Afghanistan have applied for special immigrant visas or SIVs, and they are currently trapped in the country.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Their families in recent weeks to the U.S., it's only a small fraction of the 60,000 who would qualify for SIVs or refugee status.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, Kansas again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
The Taliban interfere with Afghan.
Mixon on the toss right.
Right now,
Room here to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. And when people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Out of the country. But with the chaos at the airport, it's not clear when the U.S. will be able to start moving that many people out of the crumbling country. Now, when asked at the State Department briefing, how many of these Afghan refugees the U.S. is going to be able to get out?
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Secure the airport there.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 1. From the gun, Mayfield. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
What's extraordinary is the feeling in the city when the Taliban moved in quite so slowly, quite so peacefully, was panic among so many. They believed maybe they could get on this village.
It's Mixon on the counter. And he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
But earlier on this afternoon, we saw some extraordinary scenes.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield on the slant complete to Hopkins. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 38-yard line.
Jammed, chaos, over $1 trillion spent, and this is what the end looks like. Walk where you can't drive.
Just ahead of us is the gates into the airport, and this is the panic scene of many people.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now used to keep the desperate crowd back.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Possibly with American home. Crowded at gates.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important 3rd
But inside
down.
the airport, the Great Escape was not going according to script, and check-in security had collapsed. Afghans, convinced the promise of a flight out was their only likely hit, clambering over walkways and tunnels the US spent billions on to maintain its presence. Another startling damage by the US's music.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
This will be caught just inside the 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I'm really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone,
and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
It is even by their own best.
It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2.
People with hope again, possibly false hope, and possibly encourage again the sort of scenes we've seen, because they're just the process.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
A proven seat. You can get inside the airport. It is quite stark.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Still be in place here. Now the Taliban have taken over. It seems, I wouldn't say far-fetched. Everyone here hopes it's viable, but at the same time, I can't see it.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. This is the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
People who are not members of the Taliban to be part of this new government.
Yes, we are intending because when we are showing an upcoming...
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
And their lives and properties are secured. Secondly, their names are registered.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
This was one of the things that the U.S. administration made an important issue in Afghanistan. And one of the things that we'd like to see...
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Has been the reason why the military offensive was so successful. It's caught everyone by surprise. Did it catch you by surprise how quickly it went? And why do you think it was so successful?
Because we have roots among the people, because it was a popular uprising of the people. Because we need that.
And diplomats and foreign nationals and journalists in Afghanistan, what is the policy to them?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side these last few drives. It has been a struggle.
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out.
And this throw will be intercepted. The Dolphins at the 47. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
So when you said to the Americans that they should stay in Iranian embassy, and they're leaving.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. On play action, they'll throw. They're going for Jefferson downfield. That's caught at the 25. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
This used to be a wedding hall. Now it's the front position. Most of the fighting here happened this night.
Now Jones. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And they shoot from people's homes. They shoot from up on the roof. Major heavy bullshit.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 14. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
U.S. airstrikes only come in an emergency. The rest of the time, it's up to them to hold the line. We feel a little bit weak without U.S. airstrikes and ground support and equipment, he says. But this is our soil. We have to defend.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
In a villa in the eastern part of the city, Kandahari lawmaker Gul Ahmed.
They'll roll with Jones. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And so...
It is caught inside the 5. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
That is the thing to convince different sides to cease fire, to work on peace, to convince them to not fight.
Mike 52, Mike 52. You ain't nothing done. You ain't doing nothing done.
Now Jones. And he will back his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Good job, baby.
Ronald Jones, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
On the outskirts of town, we find 30 families camped out on an abandoned construction site.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit 14-7 as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Mayfield down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Mayfield with it once more. Gets on the grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, first down.
Forces launched some kind of a counteroffensive to take back the territory, to stop the Taliban from seizing more when they don't have the support of the U.S. military. And you heard them say it. They understand that this is their
They'll run here with Mixon. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And Nimrod's falling today to the Taliban.
On the 6th day of the shot for Jerusalem, city of faith and fear, and on Lucas on Sunday at 10, and on CNN.
What's happening now is just as usually happened 5 years ago. For 15 years in future.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
President of the United States of America. The buck stops with me.
Quick throw, and Mayfield completes it. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20.
And maintain a laser focus on our counterterrorism mission there and other parts of the world. The mission to degrade the terrorist threat of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. The kill Osama bin Laden is a success. Decades-long effort to overcome century of history, continuing to change and remake Afghanistan like now.
On 2nd and 2, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1 yard line.
1 yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who throw it.
It's not what the American people want. It is not our troops that sacrifice so much of their safety deserve.
They'll give it to Mixon. Yeah, they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch? When they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count, can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete here. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They read zone coverage there and thought there was some space to send their guy right into the middle on a slant, hoping he would get lost. Instead, they read it quite well and closed quickly.
And just try to physically crush yourself on to the outside of the...
Interested to see what they dial up here. Third and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to fourth down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Sanders' kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are you going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And wanting to know what they can do. And there's so few, so limited options right now to be able to help anybody.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
52's the mic, boy, 52.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
This as its core is a truly shocking development. What went wrong is going to be debated for
the gun now on third down. They'll get this into the hands of Dillon, complete. And he's going to have the Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Smoke and noise to an extent. But what went really wrong is that the Taliban had been waiting for some time.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. On first down, it's Jones. And he takes it down to 40 with a pickup of 4. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Rocketing Eid prayers in July. Attacking another outdoor presidential address early last year. But in recent days,
the Bucs on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
His administration unprepared just as the Afghan people were looking for leadership and international allies.
A quick toss down the right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call down on a couple of guys there.
Results in further killing of innocent people, loss of your achievements over the last 20 years, destruction of public infrastructure, and prolonged instability.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
The Taliban had been demanding for months, but said he was in urgent talks with local leaders and international partners. The embattled president not seeming to grasp.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
It's a bitter outcome for the former World Bank employee who gave up his U.S. citizenship.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
The U.S. eventually broke a power-sharing deal with rival Abdullah, in which Ghani was declared president. One of his last acts before leaving Kabul Sunday, a security call to appeal for calm.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
To take full responsibility for the security of our residents.
Back to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball takes the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Afghanistan's acting defense minister tweeting, they tied
as big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
52's the mark, boy, 52. Ghani always had a contentious relationship with the Taliban. They viewed him as a puppet of the Americans. Social media.
On third down, here's Jones. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This a 33-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Some carry American weapons. Tell us they're here to maintain law and order. Everything is under control. Everything will be fine.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf, dude. That's bottom shelf material. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Mayfield on play action. flush to his right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth.
Is top of that list of promises. At the presidential palace, the Taliban are now guarding the gate. They say they're here to fill the vacuum left when the government fled. But the welcoming spirit only extends so far. Their presence soon creates tension.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Desperation time, Mayfield on fourth down. And it's incomplete, they cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So they come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, 52, 52. Let's go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they get it on the ground. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. We'll likely put an end to this thing. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Out of the shotgun is Jones. 14 yards there, and a Buccaneer first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Fox Propaganda Network is already equipped to question.
This is Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth.
The anti-refugee sentiment almost as strong as the anti-fax sentiment on that network. Tucker Carlson seemingly offering the most outlandish reasons for how the Taliban gained control.
Since Kabul has just fallen, it might be worth asking the most obvious question of all. Why did the Taliban win?
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
What is the answer? The countries are very complicated, so there likely many answers. But what?
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Men can become pregnant. They thought that was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Forget the facts. Forget nuance. Forget the decades-long geopolitical struggle. It's the gender. It's the gender status. Let me ask the question. Is it the gender status? Meanwhile, experts feel the Taliban will reverse decades.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now the Bucks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Jerusalem, city of faith and fury. An all-new episode Sunday at 10. Only on CNN.
There have been folks on the left and right who wanted to see America leave Afghanistan after 20
out trots the kicker in a big
of
spot
course they
here.
have.
This to make it a 2-score game.
Taliban back in
Tucker's
control.
kick is good.
Medieval morality.
And they double up here. That makes our score 20-10.
Basic human rights.
So barring something extraordinary in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, well, we got to find 2 scores, so, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet.
One
It
alternative
can be done.
would have been leaving a small
It's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah,
to
they would have
support
to
the
move
Afghan
incredibly
army.
quick and
At least
have some
until the
luck, too.
Taliban complied with the terms of the peace deal. Could have avoided this, at least for a time. Now that is President Joe Biden's road not traveled. He inherited America's longest war, but the final implosion of 20 years' work occurred on his watch. But don't even begin to believe the Republican effort to whitewash history and score partisan points.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next
like the
drive.
RNC's
They might
attempt
be
to
thinking
literally
this is
erase
close to
praise
a
for
lost
Donald
cause
Trump's
here.
withdrawal
What
from
do
its
they need to
website
do?
in the
They
wake
have
of
a
this
thought
disaster.
process in mind, of course,
Because
but
in
they
case
can't
you
get
forgot,
ahead of
Trump
themselves.
drew
They know
down
that they need
U.S.
to score
troops from around
quickly.
14,000 to some
I'm saying check and get the ball back,
while
and then
initiating
score
U.S.
again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So while former Trump Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was busy dunking on President Biden, he was
back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got
his own
another first down.
negotiations with the Taliban and his commitment to have, quote, 0 U.S. forces in Afghanistan by spring 2021. That's right. Because last year, Trump was crowing about this withdrawal deal saying we had very good conversations with the Taliban. We're looking forward to getting this ended. We're looking forward to getting it ended. And I think that is a very common interest. The relationship
So
is very
fire
good.
the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you
Afghan
close, the way
government
that you
to
finish,
release
that gets appreciated
5,000
from the time
Taliban
you're playing
prisoners,
Little League
including some
football.
who've been linked to the
All the
killing
way
of U.S.
up
troops,
through. And they
contributed to this
closed them out with a big-time
But one
performance
issue
down the stretch.
united almost all members of Congress was the
So for
moral
Tampa
obligation
Bay,
to protect
their playoff
Afghan
chances
interpreters
take an
who risked their
uptick
lives
as they
to
move
guard
to
it.
7-4.
That's why there was a
And they will
lopsided
hit the road next week for a date with the
417
Philadelphia
vote in the House
Eagles.
to expand and
Meanwhile,
accelerate
for
their visas.
Miami, they've
Take a
fallen out
closer
of
look
things
at
now
those
as they
16
sink to 3-8.
Republicans,
And they'll try and turn things
charter
around
members
next
of
week
Trump's
as they
sedition
have a date at
caucus,
MetLife
like Andy
Stadium
Biggs,
with
Lowell
the New
Boebert,
York
Mo
Jets.
Brooks, Paul Gosar, Marjorie Taylor Greene,
And for
Jody
Charles
Heiss,
Davis
Scott
and our
Perry.
entire crew, I'm Brandon
Biden
Gunn. You've
mocked
been watching the
outrage over Biden's
NFL
botched
on
withdrawal
EA
from this
Sports.
court. Last month, they weren't even willing to offer assistance to the Afghans who helped us. And Arizona's Andy Biggs was pressuring Biden for a complete withdrawal back in February. Biggs' insistence that, quote, Afghanis need to be responsible for their own destiny going forward doesn't seem to apply when Joe Biden backs it. The GOP can try to ignore the fact that most of them backed Trump's withdrawal plan, despite its reversal of the party's post-9/11 consensus. They dropped those principles for political gain, and they just pick them up again to use as a political weapon. Just in case anyone's still tempted to buy into this BS, here's a clip of ex-President Trump bragging about being the author of this withdrawal less than 2 months ago.
I started the process. All the troops are coming back home. They couldn't stop the process. 21 years is enough, don't we think? 21. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
He added that the only way the Afghan government lasts is if we're there. And that's your reality check.
Years, 6 epic conflicts, the most coveted city in the world, Jerusalem, city of faith and fury.
Sundays at 10, only on CNN.
At the central Kabul market today, stores were open and people were back on the streets. Or at least some people. It was impossible not to notice that women here seem to have largely melted away. One store was doing better business than usual. For more than a decade, Mohammed has been selling burqas, the head-to-toe covering once imposed by the Taliban. Business was good, but now it's even better, he tells us. More sales.
Why do you think you're selling more burqas right now?
Because the Taliban took over and all the women are afraid, he says. So that's why they're all coming in and buying burqas.
Do you feel abandoned?
Yeah, exactly.
In an apartment downtown, we saw that fear firsthand. Until last week, Fazila was working for the UN. That's not her real name, and she asks we not show her face. She's petrified that the Taliban will link her to Western organizations and says she hasn't gone outside since they arrived in Kabul.
You look very frightened.
Exactly. Too much stress. It is not easy for a person to work